Hi, I'm Mark from L&M Small Engine. Today we're working on a Murray Snowblower. It's a 6-speed, 5-horse Tecumseh engine with a 24-inch cut. They tried getting it running, getting it ready for the winter time, but it didn't want to start or nothing. So we'll probably more likely tear the carburetor apart, see if we can't get it running. So hope you enjoy the video. Okay, we're going to start at the front. We're going to make sure the skid plates ain't wore out. Make sure that cutting edge on the bottom is above the ground a little bit and that's not getting wore out. Check the augers. Make sure the shear pins are still in there. And this one here, on this gearbox up here, there's a plug. We're going to check and see if there's any grease in there. And we're going to add a little bit to there. I won't take much, it's just a little bit below the... And the ones that have it, this one has a gasket on it. So you can use gear oil, like 80-90, but there's some that don't have the gasket. That's why you put like regular grease in there, because the oil will just run between the two halves. Well, this one has that heavy duty gear case on this one. This one was built pretty good in the day. We should be able to check the belts next. See how the belts are. And the belts are under this protective cover right here. I'll pop the one off on this side real quick. Them belts look really good, and you make sure your idler pulleys spin freely. Them belts look like they're in really good shape. Okay, on this here, the protective cover is gone, and I don't have a used one, so I'm gonna have to order one. Need that cover on there when you're blowing snow. All that powder is gonna come in here and kind of choke the motor out. But we'll go ahead and get this all tuned up because it's gonna take probably 5 to 7 days to get that cover if I can find one. But it definitely needs a cover. But we'll continue on the tune-up on this. Don't need the cover to tune it up, just need the cover before they start using it. Go ahead and take the clamp off the fuel line. Kind of twist it back and forth to break it loose off that nipple there, and you gotta be careful because these nipples on these 5-horse Tecumsehs are plastic. Just gently work it off. And there's 2 bolts in the back here. The heads on the bolts are 3/8, the nuts are 7/16. Okay, we got one side out. There we go. Now we hook this governor linkage. Remember what hole it goes in. We can put it in the exact same hole. And there you go. I'm going to clean it off a little bit before we tear it apart. But before I do that, I think I should drain the oil. Here's your drain tube right there with that clamp on the back. I'm going to raise the front of the snowblower up with a 2x4. So the oil gets out of the crankcase a little bit better. Oil pan under here. See, the whole tube is turning. That means they got that cap on there way too tight. So what I like to do is put a pair of vice grips to prevent the pipe from turning. Son of a gun, that's on there tight. There's no reason for these things to be on there that tight. And if I have to take the whole tube out, that was just ridiculously way too tight. But I took it out and put it in the vise just to get that cap off. Let that drain for a little bit. I'm gonna clean the carburetor off, then we'll start tearing that apart. Okay, sprayed the outside of the carburetor off a little bit there. Now we'll use a 1/2 inch to take this bowl off. A little gritty in there, if you ask me. Take that old gasket off. And here's where that primer hose broke off. Get that pulled off of there. And right over here, little cap right there. That's where your idler jet or / pilot jet is. We need to take this cap off so we get to that screw. There we go. And see, just a standard screwdriver to pop that out. We gotta make sure that's all nice and clean too, or else it's gonna surge. So we'll just go ahead and pop that out. Okay, now it's time for the carburetor ultrasonic boiler. I'm gonna stick all this stuff in there and get it cleaned up really good. Okay, while the carburetor is being cleaned, we might as well change the spark plug in it. We're gonna put a Champion J19LM in it. That's what it's supposed to have in there. Spark plug wire on there. Now we might as well add the oil to it. And on snowblowers and stuff, you're supposed to use a 1030 oil in it. We're going to put a 1/2 quart in there. Check the dipstick. So make sure you use a 1030 on the snow equipment, because the 3008 is just too thick, especially when it's really cold out. Got 16 ounces in there. It might take 20 ounces. Yeah. Gotta get 4 more ounces in it. This particular Tecumseh takes 20 ounces. You want it right on the full line. You don't want it over full, and you don't want it low. Right now we got 20 ounces in there. And it's right on full. Just did a 5-horse just a little bit ago, and that one only took 16 ounces. Same horsepower, this must be a different model of Tecumseh engine on it. Okay, the carburetor should be almost done. Let me go ahead and put that back together again next. Okay, we got out of the boiler, and on the old bowl, right here, there's a rust hole. Right there. And there's going to be some more. So we're just going to put a whole different bowl on there. That one's no good. So we got another bowl. So we got to get the old seat out of here. There's a seat, rubber seat in there. Take your screwdriver and twist it around a few times, and take your air gun and blow through the air, and it'll pop right out. Okay, and we'll grab our new seat. It's smooth on one side. There's ridges on the other side. The ridges go in first, so the smooth side is the side that you see. Kind of get it put in there straight. And I like to use a 3/16 drill bit, the back end of it. Make sure there ain't no burrs on or nothing. Stick it in there. Press it down. I like to blow a little air in there to get any debris out of there. Okay. Now on our jet, There's 2 holes down here. Plug one up and spray in here, and there should be a nice stream that comes out of the top. And it don't look very good, so take a piece of wire. This is like the end of a flywheel brake cable. Stick it in there all the way and kind of twist it around. There might be some debris stuck on the side. And go ahead and blow it out. And then there's a little hole. A little itsy bitsy hole right here on the side. You gotta make sure that's nice and cleared out too, which it is. And on your idler jet or pilot jet, there's 2 holes on the side and 1 on the top. Just plug the one on the outside out. And it shoots out a nice stream, so I'll go ahead and put that in there first. Make sure that's nice and snug. And I see this little rubber cap fell out of there. That actually goes in the center of that rubber piece right there. So we're just going to put it in there. So it'll go right back up in there. We'll grab our float. Our new needle. Get it lined up. Get our pin put in. Grab our new bowl gasket. Get that put on. And this flat part of the bowl goes where the swivel end is. Put our new gasket on there. I want to put the gasket on here because I want to keep this jet straight up and down, so that little will slide right in that center. Go ahead and tighten her out. And now we're ready to install it back on the snowblower. Okay, first I will hook that governor rod up to that middle hole. And I'll put the nuts on there. Get them tightened up. Okay, now we're gonna hook the fuel line up. We got pushed down all the way. Put our clamp on. Got our primer hose on there. Okay, we got I put a little splice in there because the hose was too short. It's gonna hit the muffler. So all we gotta do now is put some gas in there and try it out. And like I said, I ordered a new cover for it. I just ordered that like a half hour ago. So I'm not gonna give it back to them. So I have that cover on there because when you're blowing snow, that powder's gonna go in there and make it quit running. So, but yeah, just need to add some gas and see if it runs. Okay, put some gas in there. Push the primer. Well, it runs like brand new again. Anyways, I appreciate you watching the video. Anyways, if you like my videos, please press the like button and subscribe. Anyways, you have a good afternoon. Bye.